Honorable members, it is now 1 minute after 10 o'clock. Good morning to all of you. Good morning, Honorable Sangon.
Good morning, Honorable Chairperson. Morning, members. Morning, General.
Good morning, Honorable Nhlanhla.
Good morning, Chair. And please, let's not forget General Kaman today.
And good morning, Honorable Sokanyile.
Good morning, Chairperson.
Good morning, Honorable Nomvalo, the new Secretary General. From
Good morning, Chair, and good morning to the people of South Africa.
Good morning, Honorable Skosana.
Ngithokoze mgcini isihlalo ngilotshisa nesitshaba sikaZimu namalunga ala eParliamenteni ekulu nabosondaba wonke umuntu okhona olaleleko njenganje ngithi lotshani.
Good morning, Honorable Shongwe.
Sanbona, South Africa, Sawubona Chair, Siyabingele San.
Good morning, Honorable Breitenbach.
Good morning, Chair.
Honorable Diane Kolabanat.
Good morning, Chair.
Good morning, Honorable Cameron.
Good morning, Chair.
Good morning, Honorable Shikele.
Good morning, Chair.
Good morning, Honorable James.
Good morning, Chair.
Good morning, Honorable Vessels.
Good morning, Chair.
Good morning. Sit down and good morning, Honorable Matthews.
I've been here, Chair. Good morning.
Yes, no, I know that you have been here. Yes. Advocate Arense.
Good morning, Honorable Chair, honorable members, my colleagues, media, and General Mkhwanazi and his team.
Advocate Mkhwanazi.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members.
Honorable or Advocate Mkhize.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. Good morning, General and your team.
Yes, Honorable Sauls. Good morning.
Good morning, Chair.
General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Good morning.
Sawubona Sihlalo.
Yes. Let me greet Honorable Mokoena Zondi from the MKP. Good morning, Honorable Member. How are you?
Thank you, Chair.
And welcome to our proceedings. Good morning, Mr. Tejana.
Good morning, Chairperson.
Good morning, Dr. Tulio.
Good morning, Chairperson and members. Thank you.
Avenda.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning to honorable members.
The people of the Soutpansberg. Mr. Pilot Kwebu, good morning. Good morning to the staff of Parliament. Good morning to the staff of the political caucuses in Parliament. And good morning to members of the media. You want to greet me, Honorable Skosan?
No, Chair, I just wanted to complete the introduction of Honorable Mkhwena. He's the Chief Whip of Umkhonto Wesizwe Party in Parliament. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning, Honorable Mkhwanazi, the Chief Whip of the MKP in the official opposition in Parliament. Thank you so much. Honorable Matthews.
Chair, I think we should put it on record that the MKP party are looking very dashing with their suits, and the newly appointed SG even has a tie on. Thank you, Chair.
If you remember what I said when we congratulated Honorable Nomvalo on his appointment, that the Secretary General is the personification of the organization. The way he dresses, we see the organization. The way he walks, we see the organization. Yes, you must go and look at the pictures of Walter Sisulu. You will know what the Secretary General is.
Chair, it's about today's proceedings. Even if I was not appointed, we're going to wear like this.
You must go and see the pictures of Reverend James Kalata. You will know what the Secretary General is. Go and look at the pictures of Tseki Soplaki. You will know the Secretary General. I will want to start by requesting the House to applaud my members today. They are meticulously dressed. They look fastidious. Can we give them a round of applause, the Honorable House? Thank you so much. You look very exquisite today. And I want to thank you so much, honorable members. This is the day the Lord has made. And I can see that the Spirit runs through your veins today. The day of the 6th of July, General Mkhwanazi, is the day the Lord has made. And the day of the 7th of October, 2025, is the day the Lord has made. And today is the day the Lord has made. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah, honorable souls. Honorable members, do we have apologies? I know that we have the standing apologies of Honorable Chopper. We have the apology of Honorable Malema for this week. Can I check if we have further apologies? Honorable Sangon.
Yes, Chairperson, we have the apology of the Chief Whip. He will join us after 12. He's engaged in the Chief Whip's forum. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you so much. Honorable Skosana.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Mngwango said I must pass his apology. He'll join us late. He's chairing a meeting now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The Democratic Alliance, Honorable Breitenbach.
Thanks, Chair. We have no apologies except the Honorable Klopper.
Okay. The EFF. The PA.
No apologies, Chair.
The FF Plus.
No apology. Thank you, Chair.
The Action SA.
No apologies, Chair.
Thank you so much. Because today is our last schedule of our appearances, or the last appearance on our schedule. I'm going to extend my benevolence. I'm stretching my benevolence to the limit today. I don't want to spoil your excitement. And I don't want to spoil the mood. Because when you are on the terminus, on the finishing line of the race, your spirit is lifted very high. And I can see that today, each one of you has that feeling that we started there and today we are here. So the chairperson can't spoil the mood. And so we are going to afford your time with the witness. And at the end, I'm going to afford each political party an opportunity to make a closing statement. Not on the evidence that would have been presented, but the people of South Africa who have been following us every day, sending us messages, giving us feedback. Sometimes the microphone is not loud. I think it's fair, Honorable Sangoni, Honorable Nomvalo, that you must speak to those people and thank them for their support, for their unwavering support and their tirelessness, because we have said it from the beginning that the work that we are doing, Honorable Souls, we are doing it in the name of these people and in the name of the Parliament of the Republic. So I must not ambush you. I must inform you from the onset that there is going to be that time graciously given to you by the chairperson to make those closing remarks. And also to thank the staff of Parliament and the staff of the political parties. They have worked day and night to support you and to make sure that you are relevant in your engagements to the statements that have been made by various witnesses that have come before us. And since we started, I have never seen any controversial report by the media. We want to thank you so much, members of the media, for the manner in which you have reported about the proceedings and developments in this committee. And lastly, honorable members, this one is on you. We are here today because of your efforts. And we are here today because of your wisdom. And for that, I want to thank you so much that we are on the last day of our proceedings. Advocate Arendse, are there any remarks that you will want to make?
About the happy time we've had together, Chair.
No, that will come later. I mean, now with the proceedings. You must also prepare yourself to come and say something. You will be the first, in fact, to say something.
I'll first have to consult with my
Yeah.
biblical leader on my far right.
Preparing you to know.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, honorable members. Today we do indeed have General Mkhwanazi here, who also happened to be our first witness, now our last witness. As we had discussed, and I think the Honorable Committee had accepted, that we will not prepare a further or additional or supplementary affidavit, given that there's a lot of moving parts, as it were, in this whole saga, if I may call it that. Hardly would we have deposed to an affidavit, signed it when something else cropped up. So even today, we have an exhibit bundle of some exhibits that have come in pretty late. So, Honorable Chair, we are going to request you to swear in General Mkhwanazi as a witness, and then we will as far as possible. Of course, try and lead his evidence in accordance with a memorandum which we have prepared and made available to the Honourable Committee, a list of questions and themes that we intend to deal with arising or relating to developments that have taken place after General Mkhwanazi testified and matters that have come to his knowledge since then. The documents have now been printed and are before the Honourable Committee. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, Honourable Sols.
Chairperson, given that it's our last day and it's our main witness, will we be reverting back to the model of time that we used at the beginning, where the responses of the witness does not eat in our time, so that we spend enough time and not rush it?
What I will do is I will allocate you 30 minutes, and in case you still have questions or matters you want to raise with the witness, I will allow that to happen. Yeah. So I will get indication from the speakers after their 30 minutes has expired, how much more time they would need. Yeah. But we will do that without prejudicing on others. Because I know we will always want to use the first speaker as a measure. We can agree, Honourable Sols, from the onset that we will allocate 30 minutes. And if the Honourable Member has to go beyond 30 minutes, it must not be above 45 minutes. I think that will be fair. Is that agreeable to Honourable Members? Honourable Skosan.
I second that, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you so much. General, good morning once again and welcome. We must administer oath, and the remarks that I'm going to make is just to remind you, because these are the remarks that we made when we saw you in previously, that this ad hoc committee is investigating the allegations that were made by yourself, General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, and that the information you give us here will help us in our oversight and investigative work. The allegations include, amongst others, the alleged unlawful disbandment of the PKTT, the Political Killings Task Team, otherwise known as the PKTT or NPKTT. Number two, the alleged moratorium on the filling of vacancies within the South African Police Services, the SAPS. And number three, alleged corrupt relationship between members of the public and senior leadership of the SAPS, and lastly, alleged political interference within the work of the SAPS. And we have also, we also want to remind you that the evidence or the statement that you make here and the oath that you take here is in terms of an Act of Parliament of 2004, which we call the Powers, Privileges and Immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislatures Act. And further, that you are reminded that by law, you are required to answer fully and satisfactorily any question lawfully put to you, or to produce any document that you are required to do so in connection with the subject matter of the inquiry. notwithstanding the fact that the answer or the document could incriminate you or expose you to criminal or civil proceedings or even damages. General, be reminded that you are, however, protected in that evidence given under oath or affirmation before a House or a Committee of Parliament may not be used against you in any court or place outside Parliament, except in criminal proceedings concerning a charge of perjury or a charge relating to the evidence or documents required in these proceedings. And once again, please be reminded that in terms of Section 17, subsection 2 of the Powers, Privileges and Immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislatures Act, a person who willfully furnishes a House or a committee with information or makes a statement before it, which is false or misleading, commit an offense and is liable to a fine or to imprisonment for a period not exceeding 2 years. You are required to take an oath or affirm that the evidence you are about to give is truthful. Which one do you elect?
I'll take an oath, sir.
You have elected to take an oath. May you please follow me as I dictate this. May you please say aye and state your names in full.
I, Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi,
Say that the evidence I shall give
swear that the evidence I shall give
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
And so help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you so much. You are sworn in, and I'm going to plead with you to stay with us until we release you from your oath. I'm saying this statement because by now we have human experience of witnesses that may stand up during the proceedings and release themselves. So I'm pleading with you to stay with us until we release you.
Thank you, sir. May I also plead that perhaps we should be mindful of the time seated there for health reason. I don't think it's good enough for individual to be seated in one chair for more than 2 hours.
Yeah, we
there
will
might need to be some consideration.
we
of
will
that.
give you convenience breaks.
Thank you, sir.
Today is the last day of our proceedings. Before I hand over to Advocate Arendse, I just want to hear from you, General Mkhwanazi. Before we start with evidence, is there anything that you want to say regarding this proceeding since we started with you from that day until? How do you feel if I was going to ask that question?
Yeah, no, thanks. I'm not a parliamentarian, so I will not necessarily, maybe it might be wrong for me to judge the proceedings, but indeed, Chair, I've been observing, being worried at times on the posture and the attitude that I see on some of the members in Parliament that seems to prejudge things. My understanding is that the committee's job is to listen to evidence, probe, but not make conclusion on their own that certain things are wrong or certain individuals are wrong. So it is that which was a bit of a concern to me, because if you recall back onto the clips of those sittings, you will have found such instances. But other than that, I think it's been encouraging to see Parliament, especially this ad hoc committee, to work these long hours. And I must take my hat off from the committee members, because at times you'll go to the gym and you come back and you are still sitting, and you fall asleep, you wake up and you're still sitting. And I thought, yeah, no, never seen Parliament work this hard. And I'm sure South Africans are quite happy about that. I am pleased with that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Advocate Arendse, how much time would you need?
Honorable Chair, yesterday we underestimated, and I think we required a further hour or so. after, we said from 10 to 1. We're making a bit of a late start also. It's almost 10:30. Assuming you take the lunch break at 1 and you take a full hour, then we would say 3:30, 4 o'clock.
What are you suggesting?
That we be given until between 3:30 and 4 o'clock.
Until 3:30.
Yes, Chair. If we shorten the lunch break, perhaps.
No, what we should do is that we will break at 1:30. So you will have 3 hours between now and 1:30. And then come back at 2. And when we come back at 2, we can only afford to run until 3.
Thank you, Chair.
Yeah. But we can't go to 4. Honorable Nomvalo.
No, thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I'm not being inconsiderate, but I just want to make a kind plea to the Senior Council. We also have an interest on issues to be raised by the witness before us. And the evidence to be tested is very vast because there are many people who came after General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, and some discredited his evidence, some corroborated with his evidence. So there are many issues which we have noted. So I want to appeal to the Senior Council and his team that they should not treat today's proceedings similarly to other proceedings that we have held before. May they allow members more time because there's a lot of us, Chair, and we're only given 30 minutes and they get hours. So I believe that amongst themselves, they can collectively agree on how they can best summarize their session. So that is my kind plea, Chair, that at least we give them between now and 1:30. And then when we come back, we give an opportunity to members. It's a kind plea. Thank you very much.
Okay. There is the proposal there. What is the take of Honorable Sangoni on that proposal?
Thank you so much, Chair. Chair, our attitude has always been that we shouldn't make the issue relating to time to reign supreme, while it's actually compromising the quality of the work that we ought to do. So our proposal would be that let's run until 1:30. Then at 1:30, we then gauge how far they have gone. But I think they've listened to the plea from members that at least they must be able to squeeze themselves in. Then at 1:30 or at 2 when we come back, we can gauge how much time then we'll allocate them further from 2 p.m. Thank you, Chair.
The DA. Honorable Breitenbach.
We have no objection to the proposal, Chair.
The EFF.
Agreed to the proposal, Chair.
The PA. Honorable Sauls.
Chair, already we, as members, are seeking more time. And I think it is not correct for the evidence leaders to have the posture that they have ample time. So if we are expected to be disciplined and manage our time, the same should apply to the evidence leader. My position is they have until lunchtime. and not until 3 or 4.
Okay.
Lunchtime, we come back and then we start. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Vessels.
Thank you, Chairperson. Agree with the proposal. Let's not waste further time. Let's continue.
Okay. Honorable James.
We agree with the proposal. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. Advocate Aaron said the overwhelming feeling is that let's do everything until 1:30. So I'm going to restrict my members not to interject you so that you are able to trot until that time. Thank you so much. Good luck to you and General Mkhwanazi.
Thank you, Chair. General Mkhwanazi, since you were last here, we asked you whether there was anything that you may have neglected to say or couldn't say or did say that you may wish to address before we commence proceedings today. And one of those issues related to an allegation you made that money was paid by Mr. Nhlanhla to Minister Cele. Do you recall that evidence that you gave here when you first appeared?
That's correct, Chair.
Yeah. And you will also recall that immediately after, I think it was during the course of General Cele's evidence, you contacted me and you indicated that you wanted to make a correction and you apologized and conveyed that to the committee. You recall that?
That's correct, Chair.
Okay. Now you have deposed to an affidavit where you do indeed retract that allegation, and you give an explanation why you have done so. Honorable Chair, if I may just hand up the affidavit. Have we got the original somewhere? I think an electronic copy. Okay. The original copies with parliamentary staff, and I think the electronic copy has been has been uploaded. So, General, perhaps if you have a copy in front of you, or you can perhaps just discuss it fairly briefly, if possible.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. I had made a contact with the senior counsel just before Gerald Cele was led into his testimony last year, and I retracted something that I had responded to one of the members that had asked me a question with regard to the communication between General Cele as well as Usmut Nhlanhla. Honorable Chair, subsequent to that, I deposed of an affidavit which I think came to Parliament dated the 24th of October, where was it 24th October, if I'm not mistaken? No, yes, 24th October 2025. I think there's a typing error here on my statements at paragraph 5, because it says 24. I think I've made it other error, but it was 2025 when I submitted that statement. Honorable Chair, I am trying to explain on this explanatory witness statement that I've presented to Parliament today, that when I appeared here in my founding affidavit that I presented before this ad hoc committee, I made it clear in that affidavit that the information that I was presenting before the ad hoc committee, it is information that I had obtained through documents that I would have perused and the people that had shared information. And what I was presenting was a collective effort of the men and women out there that are finding it challenging for them to carry out their task. So at no stage I had claimed that everything that I presented was solely from me. So it's information that will be provided to me by colleagues that are working on things. As I'm sure everyone knows that I am stationed in KwaZulu-Natal, and the majority of the things that brings us here, and I must applaud Honorable James when I listened to her yesterday, drawing our attention from PKTT to the real problem, which is drug issues that is happening in Gauteng. That majority of what we were raising on the 6th of July was in relation to the activities that we're seeing happening in Gauteng province. So therefore, the members that were working close with that have got different expertise, Honorable Chair. And as I was presenting and preparing the statement, I will obtain information from them. Some of them are analysts that will be providing information, and information that brought us to come together so that we can discuss this. Honorable Chair, in my statement, without going through it verbatim on every paragraph, I want to draw your attention especially to paragraph 7 or paragraph 6, maybe let me start there, and I'm going to read it into record, if you permit me. On paragraph 7, on this explanatory witness statement, I'm explaining that in preparation of my evidence before the committee, I relied on information provided by the analyst in relation to the cell phone data of Mr. Nhlanhla's phones. The analyst that worked on this was Miss Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, who is a lieutenant colonel in the South African Police Service. She's the one that conducted the analysis of the data from the 2 mobile phones of Mr. Nhlanhla. Colonel Mkhwanazi subsequently deposed to a statement wherein she explains how the error occurred. And the statement, I'm sure the members have, the statement that she deposed. She says, during the execution of her duties, she was, of course, in the presence of myself and other colleagues, who include the generals that are working on this case, where there was a projection of the data downloads of the cell phones of Mr. Nhlanhla. The 2 cell phones where the information came from Mr. Nhlanhla was an iPhone 16 as well as iPhone 15. And it was discovered during these downloads that there were communications on cell phone numbers of General Cele, and General Cele's numbers were saved on these phones. And the numbers are reflected on my statements at paragraph 7.2.1 and 7.2.2. As you can see, these numbers were saved with particular names, Ndosi and Cele. For those who does not know, Ndosi is a clan name of Cele. So you'll assume that when a person talks about Cele or Ndosi, he talks about the same person. The analyst then explained that in the very same phone, there were also chats that were coming from 8 different numbers, which is reflected on paragraph 7.3. And this communication that is dated the 27th of December 2024, it was a communication between Vusmus Nhlanhla and the person on this number that he had saved as Babndos. So right at the onset, you'll assume that Babndosi might be a Cele person, not necessarily General Cele, but might be a Cele person because it's a clan name. But where the error happened, and honorable members must see there on record, and we are reflecting that especially on paragraph 7.5 of the statement. The number that is reflected on paragraph 5.2.1 above, which reads 072-207-3518. That is the number of General Cele. And the number that was communicating on text with Ket Nhlanhla that was saved in Ket Nhlanhla's phone and saved as Babndosi, or the address that Nhlanhla uses, the number reads 072 204 3518. So on the glance, as the members can see, the two numbers are almost similar with a difference of only one digit, right in the middle. That's one digit that differentiates between the two numbers. The system that an analysis notebook that the analyst was using in punching the numbers and tracing the communication, I think the system drew a different number because of this confusion in the middle. Now, the analyst does submit a statement, or she has submitted a statement, both before this committee as well as on a criminal investigation that has been investigated by IPIT as a result of a case of perjury that Mr. Adams, the honorable member of this parliament, have opened as a result of that error. So she did submit, which we will have to account for on the criminal investigation. But she did submit her statement to explain how this error occurred. So we were upfront to withdraw that statements made. We've put in a statement supplementary in that regard, and we are here today to submit an explanatory statement on how this error between these two numbers occurred. Honorable Chair and members, we also believe that the very same Vusmus Nhlanhla made the same error. He might have been under impression that he's communicating to someone else, Ndosi, Babndosi, that he addresses as Babndosi himself. Why do we say that? We say this because, Honorable Chair and members, the owner of the number that the mistake happened resides in Mpumalanga. His name is here. I'm not going to read it for privacy, but the members is reflected on the statement. The owner of this phone number has given us a statement as well, where he explains that he received a number of messages, WhatsApp messages with bank records, statements that he did not understand what was it about. There were a lot of them. And he then responded to try and get a conversation from the person who's sending him these documents. He sends him a message, he said, hey, and then the person responded. And next thing, there was an exchange of a bank account because it seems like Ket Nhlanhla needed to put money, give money to this person. And this person gave him capital account. And this Ket Nhlanhla deposited the money into this account. And this man was appreciative, he's unemployed, and he said he took some of this money, gave it to his girlfriend. And he wanted more money because he doesn't know who's this person that is donating the money. To try and get a conversation from the person who's sending him these documents, he sends him a message, he said, hey, and then the person responded. And next thing, there was an exchange of a bank account because it seems like Ket Nhlanhla needed to put money, give money to this person, and this person gave him capital account. And this Ket Nhlanhla deposited the money into this account. And this man was appreciative, he's unemployed, and he said he took some of this money, gave it to his girlfriend. And he wanted more money because he doesn't know who's this person that is donating the money to him that he does not know. It is then when Vusmus Nhlanhla realized that looks like he's talking to a wrong person. And Vusmus Nhlanhla says on the WhatsApp message, who are you? So he's asking this guy that he has already given the money to, who are you? And this person explained, no, I'm so and so. So immediately after that, Nhlanhla deleted all the messages that he had sent. He retracted all those messages from his phone. So a statement from that owner of that cell phone is here. The downloads from Nhlanhla's phone does show those messages that the members is, or that the witness is talking about that were sent by Nhlanhla to him, and they are reflected, attached to the statement at the back of the statement, that the members will be able to see them. Right at the back, there's quite a lot of messages that Nhlanhla had sent to this guy, and he later deleted all of them. So we believe that Nhlanhla made the same error, Chair, that we also made, simply because the number between this gentleman and Cele differs with only one digit. I think it's digit number 6. The other one has got 4, and the other one has got 7. The rest of the other numbers, they are exactly the same. So that is what we are submitting, Chair. It was not an intention for us to mislead this committee. It was an error that was made when the analysis team extracted information, which was discovered by the very same team when the investigation was conducted further, and when we established that no, this is not the real person, and that's why we withdrew the statements that we made, which we had right at onset indicated that what we are sharing, it's any collective information that come from different colleagues in the service. So that's my submission, Chair.
Thank you, General. But you do confirm that Minister Cele's number is or was on Mr. Nhlanhla's phone?
Yes, we do confirm that there's communication between Minister Cele, or the former Minister Cele, Gerald Cele, and Vusmas Nhlanhla. The only thing that we're withdrawing, it is the WhatsApp communication, and subsequent to that, a bank account and the proof of payment. And we had said, if I may add, Chair, that in our response here, we did say that there was a communication between the General and Nhlanhla. But subsequent to that, there was a bank account that was shared, and the bank account belonged to a third person. And there was money that was moved into that bank account of that third person. And we were to investigate whether that third person is not associated to Gerald Cele. That's what we said on record. So it is that investigation that revealed that actually those two are not related.
So the person who actually did get the money just thought that Christmas came early. He was getting a gift from some unknown person.
Yeah,
So
well,
not connected at all to Kat Nhlanhla or to former Minister Cele.
Indeed, he does tell us that he enjoyed that money and he shared it with his girlfriend.
Is there any connection to the Ndosi number? And because you say Ndosi is a clan name for Cele.
It is Kat himself that addresses him as Bamdosi. So that's why we believe that he saved this, and this person has got no relationship with Cele clan. He goes with a different surname. Without disclosing the details of the person, maybe I can indicate his surname. His surname is Nhlanhla. So you're nowhere closer to the clan of Cele.
Now, apart from what on your evidence appears to be a genuine mistake, what made you believe in the first place that Nhlanhla would have sent money to former Minister Cele in this fashion?
Honorable Chair, the investigation team, as they were interacting, and we get to see the communication between General Cele and Nhlanhla and the relationship that is between the two of them. It is that what became suspicious as to, but why would General Cele associate himself with this person? And further colleagues that we're talking to, of which some of them I spoke about, and we're going to discuss it later today. A colleague of mine who's the head of human resource management in the South African Police Service, that is Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, who had indicated to me that General Cele was adamant to want to see him in order to discuss the contract that Nhlanhla had in the police, because there were no orders coming. She said to me that this was after the Durban engagement with Nhlanhla when I spoke to her. And she said to me, Gerald Cele was even so adamant that he wanted to travel to Welkom when she was in Welkom to come and meet with her. So it is that made us to realize that there was that effort from General Cele to make sure that Nhlanhla is assisted to some degree. And of course, the generals going to the accommodation of Nhlanhla in Pretoria, which has already been presented here that is known. So those are some of the things that made us to feel that there is something that is questionable, the relationship between the two of them. So when the analyst then starts seeing this conversation, and on the glance, she can come and demonstrate how the system dropped this information that appears to be the general thread that WhatsApp, the error occurred. We had no reason but to believe that there is something to be investigated between the two. And considering the fact that this contract, when it was awarded, we are not saying that there was any role that the general played, but when this contract of Nhlanhla was awarded, Minister Mkhwanazi was not in, when the process started, Minister Mkhwanazi was not in the organization at the time. General Thele was the executive authority at the time.
So at least on the face of it, there appeared to be some connection, and so when you miss one digit on two numbers that look almost exactly the same, there's no reason to think that it was done maliciously or with some ulterior motive.
No, definitely there was no ill intention.
Yeah.
That's why we withdrew and made an apology upfront.
Now the one person whose name does feature prominently in the WhatsApp exchanges between Mr. Nhlanhla and Mr. Mkhwanazi is Minister Mkhwanazi. And Minister Mkhwanazi had handed up an affidavit that was deposed to by Mr. Nhlanhla, where he says words to the effect that there's no relationship, no connection. I forget the exact wording now, but something to that effect. We'll find the affidavit and read it back to you. But words to that effect. Now, you had subsequently also been handed some information which indicates that may not have been the case. The impression is created by the affidavit handed up by Minister Mkhwanazi that Nhlanhla almost volunteered to give that information and deposed to an affidavit while he was at Kgosi Makhura. Now, you have made available to us, which I will ask that they flight a handwritten letter it is in the pack. So honorable chair, honorable members, you can see it yourself. It seems to be addressed to Nhlamulo, NHLUMULO -FYI for your attention or for your information. And it's a handwritten letter. Perhaps first just explain how you got this letter into your possession, and whether you know who this person is who wrote the letter or allegedly wrote the letter. Have you verified the contents of this letter? Have you sought to authenticate the letter? Just give us some background to this letter before we go to the relevant parts, please.
Thank you so much, Chair. Honorable Chair, a cousin of mine stays in Johannesburg, and she works in Johannesburg as well. She called me and told me that there is an information of someone in prison in Pretoria that wanted to see me and share information with me. But of course, I was in Devon and I could not just be in Pretoria, but I indicated to her that I'm going to be on my way to Pretoria. So if there's something that you want to share, I can meet up with you somewhere, collect whatever that you have collected and come and give it to me. And we made that arrangement. I traveled to Johannesburg and I met with her at, I think, Woodmead, if I'm not mistaken. And she gave me a handwritten document And she gave me a bit of a background as to where does this handwritten document come from. So I took that and I was on my way to the Interpol conference in Morocco. I then thought I was going to be able to take time and read it and get to see whether what is written there can be of any assistance to anyone. So that's a background of how I got the letter. When I asked her how she received it herself, she said to me she got it from a gentleman who went to fetch this letter from prison, from a person who wrote it in prison. As you can see, the letter is not addressed to me, it's addressed to someone who I don't even know who the person is. I had to make an inquiry as to who is Nhlanhla. My cousin had explained to me that Nhlanhla is a member of MK party. I don't know if he's a spokesperson or what title does he have, but the person that wrote the letter is a friend or is a person who grew up with Nhlanhla, so he knows Nhlanhla very well. And as a result, that person was addressing this to Nhlanhla. And apparently the intention was to ask Nhlanhla to bring it to me. But it is said that Nhlanhla was not available. I think he was in Cape Town. And if I'm not mistaken, Nhlanhla would have sent his father to go and meet up with this person. And that's how the father collected this information. And that information was passed to my cousin, and that's how it got to me. So the person wrote like this, and I confirmed her whether can I present this thing before the committee, and he said, yeah, he's willing to testify. He's currently in one of the correctional centers in Gauteng, but no longer in Khosimapuru. And he had even put his name right at the bottom, because I thought we could redact the name in order to protect him. And he said, no, he doesn't mind. He can tell it as is. So that's why we have it here before us.
And this is a convicted prisoner.
I'm not sure of his status, but what I read from here, he said he's been in that, I think, in custody for more than 3 years. So whether he's convicted or not, I've never investigated.
Waiting trial for 3 years, a bit long.
There are a lot of people that can be waiting trials for many years in our facilities.
Like in the Senzo Moyewa. But so his name appears to be Jermaine Prim. It's right at the end of this letter, just above the digit 8, Jermaine Prim.
Yeah, right at the end is written Jermaine Prim, and he signed it.
Yeah. Now, this letter is Jermaine Prim, the author of this letter. Is he writing this letter on the basis of information that he is now getting from Vusikat Matlala?
What I was informed is that this person was in the same correctional facility with Ket Matlala, and he interacted with Ket Matlala throughout the whole process. In a matter of fact, what the information I have is that it was just the two of them in the cell.
Now, you haven't verified this for yourself or through your investigating team or through any investigating team?
Yeah, well, no. I've shared this information with the team in Gauteng as they are investigating some other cases in Gauteng, but not necessarily me, myself, to get involved with that investigation.
Now, you agree that there are a lot of names in this letter?
According to what is written, this man, because I established as to how did he gather the information. Information I got is that Ket was telling him things, and he would take a pen and a paper and he would write these things down without Ket knowing at the time. So that's why I was worried about this coming out in public, that maybe his life will be in danger. And he said, no, he's no longer even in the same facilities, so he doesn't mind. We can make this public. What he writes here is stories that he was told by Ket inside that correctional center. But he also makes his own remarks about his own issues here that has got other names. As I said, it's not something that has been investigated by me. I'm sure the team that gets to see this, they will interview him and try and get more information, because There are somewhere in this statement of his where he makes some allegations against some of our senior public figures of government. But that is in brief. I would say more than 90% of what is here, it's what it's been told to him by Ket Nhlanhla.
Now, what makes you believe that this letter or copy of this letter is authentic and that is indeed what Jermaine records what Kat is telling him? They obviously have a lot of time to do this sitting together in a cell the whole day.
Honorable Chair, the things that are mentioned here are matters that some of them I was not aware. One of them is I did not know how the minister obtained Kat's affidavit that he came to present here. I did not know that. I never investigated, but it was presented before